Welcome back. If you've been waiting for a full, honest, no-fluff breakdown of the vehicle everyone in the luxury world is starting to whisper about, you found the right video. Today we're going deep into the Lexus LF-X, and by the end of this one, you're going to understand this car completely: the exterior design, the interior, the technology, the performance, what it actually feels like from behind the wheel, how practical it really is day to day, where it shines, where it stumbles, what it might cost, and how it stacks up against the cars it's about to go to war with. So if you're even a little curious about where Lexus is headed next, stay with me until the end, because the full picture only comes together in the final few minutes, and trust me, it's worth the wait. There are certain cars that don't just enter the market, they announce themselves. And everything pointing toward the LF-X suggests this is one of them. Lexus has spent the last few years quietly rebuilding its identity, moving from the brand your father trusted for reliability into something bolder, sharper, more emotional. The LF-X sits right at the center of that transformation. It isn't just another model in the lineup. It's a statement about what Lexus believes luxury should feel like in the years ahead. And to really understand it, I want to walk you through this car the way you'd actually experience it, not as a spec sheet, but as a series of moments. 5 of them. Because if you understand these 5 moments, you understand everything this car is trying to be. The first moment is the moment you see it. And this is where the LF-X earns its reaction before you've even opened a door. The silhouette is lower and tighter than anything wearing a Lexus badge right now, with a hood that stretches long and confident, and a roofline that tapers back like it's already in motion while parked. The signature spindle grille has been reworked, less about a giant open mouth and more about sculpted intake channels that hint at aerodynamic purpose rather than just brand identity. Thin blade-style lighting wraps the front and rear, and the body has these tension lines running down the doors that catch light differently depending on where the sun sits. It doesn't shout for attention the way some exotic-flavored luxury cars do. It earns attention. And that distinction matters, because it tells you immediately who this car is for. The second moment is the moment you sit inside and bring it to life. This is where Lexus has always quietly excelled, and the LF-X appears to push that even further. The cabin leans minimal but never cold, with clean horizontal lines, real material texture under your fingertips, and a driver-focused layout that wraps around you instead of just sitting in front of you. Space is generous for both front and rear passengers, which matters more than people think, because a luxury car that feels cramped after 20 minutes stops feeling luxurious very quickly. The technology is where things get genuinely exciting. A wide, high-resolution display integrates navigation, drive data, and vehicle settings into one seamless interface, paired with a head-up display that keeps your eyes where they belong, on the road. Driver assistance technology is expected to include adaptive cruise with lane centering, advanced blind spot monitoring, and predictive braking systems that react before you do. None of this feels bolted on. It feels considered, like the car was built around the person using it, not the other way around. The third moment is the first turn you take, the moment the car stops being an object and starts being an experience. This is where practicality and driving character reveal themselves at the same time. Early impressions suggest a chassis tuned for confidence rather than aggression, steering that responds cleanly without feeling nervous, and a ride that absorbs rough roads without going soft and disconnected. This is a car designed to work in daily life, not just on a closed track for a promotional video. Trunk space, rear visibility, and everyday usability all appear to have been considered carefully, which matters enormously for anyone actually planning to live with this car rather than just admire it in photos. The fourth moment is the one that changes how you see everything that came before it. This is where you put your foot down. And depending on the powertrain Lexus ultimately commits to, whether that's an electrified performance setup drawing from their LFZ research or a hybridized system building on what they've learned from the LC and upcoming LFR, the acceleration is expected to be genuinely serious, immediate torque delivery followed by a smooth, controlled surge rather than a jolt. But here's the twist, and it's an important one. Power alone isn't the story. The real tension is going to be price. A car this ambitious, wearing this much new technology, is almost certainly going to land in a price bracket that puts it uncomfortably close to established performance luxury rivals with decades of racing pedigree and brand prestige behind them. That's the moment LF-X has to prove it's not just impressive, it's worth choosing over cars people already trust with their money. Which brings us to the fifth and final moment, the moment of judgment. Because a car can look incredible, feel refined, and drive beautifully, and still lose if the value equation doesn't add up. Against rivals like the BMW i5 M60, the Mercedes-AMG EQE, and Genesis's increasingly serious electrified lineup, the LF-X will need more than good looks to win hearts and wallets. Its strengths are becoming clear already: distinctive design, a genuinely upgraded interior experience, and technology that feels forward-thinking rather than gimmicky. Its biggest question mark is whether Lexus can convince performance luxury buyers, a notoriously loyal and skeptical group, to give the brand a serious second look. If Lexus prices this smartly and backs it with the driving experience early impressions suggest, the LF-X won't just be another luxury option. It could be the car that finally repositions the entire brand in the minds of a new generation of buyers. And that's really what this comes down to. 5 moments, 1 story, and a car that seems designed to make you feel something at every single one of them. Whether the LF-X becomes the car we're expecting, or evolves further before it reaches showrooms, one thing already feels true: Lexus isn't playing it safe anymore. If this video gave you a clearer picture of where the brand is headed, do me a favor and hit that like button, subscribe if you want to be here the moment this car becomes official, and drop a comment telling me which of these 5 moments excites you the most. I read every single one. Until next time, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next video.